Hello! Welcome to the stream. Thank you for coming out. As you know, my name is Matt. I draw things on the internet as Taco Viking Studios because I like tacos and I like Vikings. And I'm kind of basic like that. Anyway, tonight is Saturday night. So you're all probably doing cool stuff because you're cool kids, and cool kids are busy on Saturdays, but I'm not because I'm not a cool kid. I'm a guy who doodles on the internet for a living. We are going to continue our work from Wednesday night when we were making the weird flower dudes. I think we're going to settle on all seeds can grow in the garden. Kind of an inclusive theme for weird little flower dudes. It's an excuse to draw weird little flower dudes. You know, and sometimes you need an excuse to draw weird little flower dudes. So I'm taking it. I should probably let people know I'm streaming. That'd probably help. I'll toss out. I should probably let people know message. I'm streaming. We'll paste that. We'll say I'm live. I'm live. You know, it helps people to. I'm just now getting back into the hang of things. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Yeah. All right, we're easing back into it, keeping it chill, keeping it cool. All right, so when we ended the stream on Wednesday night, we had drawn this superhero flower. And he's pretty good, but I did want to make a couple little changes. That's the big one right there. I just want to give him a nice chin butt. That's the big flower dude change there. Give him a chin butt. Oh, I need to widen some of these lines because they aren't going to read as a sticker if they're this small. I'm really getting back into the hang of just doing a lot of illustration after getting rusty over the winter, but there we go. So we got the superhero super flower. We made this killer flower with a knife. He's like a dandelion who had all of his poofies blown away. And made this little depressed emo flower with his little emo-over. And he was a thing I was making to comfort myself, and he was cute, and I decided to keep going. All right, so now we're going to work on this cave flower. This cave flower does need a little bit of cleaning up in the basic line art, mostly because, as you can see, he's got a pretty good lean going on. And that's okay. I'm going to come in here and just draw in some guidelines I can use when I'm fixing some things. I just want to give him a little bit more, like, I just want to take away some of that lean, some of that bend, and just make sure I'm matching some stuff up right. So I just wanted to give myself a little line to work off of there. So let's go ahead and add a new layer. Grab our vector brush. And what I'm doing, what lets me do here is it kind of lets me move this bit here over to straighten out and like over exaggerate that hunch in his back and get some of that feel. What I think I'm actually going to do is I'm going to merge those so that I can literally maybe make some adjustments here. So we'll just oops. There we go. Yeah. There we go. I'm gonna rotate this a little bit and just move it over so that there. And now what I'll have to do is I'll have to come back in here on this layer and kind of make some little whippy vine adjustments to reconnect some of that stuff, which is fine. But that gives us a little bit more balance in his body. So that you can see where he's like a little more flush with himself. And that's the ultimate goal. So we'll clean all of it. All right. So one of the reasons I like sketching, doing all this digitally, is because it lets me kind of correct some of those mistakes. And then actually going to redraw in a floor reference here, that so that I know exactly where my floor is. I don't want purple, I don't want the burgundy or the. I use that pink because I never use it as an actual color. You know. All right. So what I'm going to start here. I want thicker lines. I want nice smooth lines. I'm going to start with this body. Stem up like this. Wow. Wow. There we go. That looks pretty good. And then what we can do from there is draw in a centralized leaf, which I think will give it a little bit more consistency in the design work here. Make it feel a little more organic in the way he's set up. Oops, I don't want that to be a sharp. I want that to be nice. Rolling curve. I love the vector trimming in Adobe Fresco, and I abuse the crap out of it constantly for things like this. You know what? Yeah, that's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I'm okay with that. And same over here. Oops, what? That. There we go. There we go. And then I'm going to have this one come up. I want it to be very leaf viney. So we'll kind of have it come up like this and stalk off this way. That. And bring this around that. I'm going to draw this bone before I do anything else. Yeah, one of these obviously very realistic bones with hearts on both ends. They're very realistic. This is how every bone in the body is shaped like this. In everybody. Every bone in every body. Human bodies, dog bodies, dinosaur bodies, whatever. And we'll come up. And this. this one around. Actually, I should probably have that do one more loop around. Go. That. There we go. There we go. And then this little leafy bit, we clearly need to cut this. And then it would be on the bottom here. This. Yeah. There we go. There we go. That's good. Hello, Leo. How's it going? Hope you're having a good Saturday night. Nice chill day. I'm having a pretty good day myself. Enjoying some nice weather. I actually have all of the windows on both the garage side and the office side of the garage open to let some nice fresh air flow through. Go. Yeah, I like that. I like that, the way he's holding that bone. And then we'll do another little leafy limb bit here. My plan would be to have this kind of come up here. Up here. This. And this is like inside. But that doesn't look right. There we go. Just like that. It's okay. I just realized most of that leaf is going to be behind his petal beard here anyway. We'll draw that piece in next. And I did pull up reference art for like prehistoric flowers. So he is based on an actual flower. I couldn't tell you what the flower's name is or anything like that. But I can tell you it has these cool, like, petals that have little hooks and loops on them. Like one is extra long, which I thought would be great for his little beard here. And it's got like a little cone thing in the middle. I don't know flower parts. I used to know flower parts. I took basic biology, you know. The little flower parts is inside the flower. It's not the petals, the thing in the middle of the petals. The prehistoric flower that I was looking at, it's conical. It's like a little cone sticking up in the middle. You know, sometimes they have little antennas. Sometimes they're just little flat dudes. This one's kind of conical. And I thought, that works for me. I like that. And I like how the little folds in the petals kind of look like hair, so cool. There. Alright, and then the whole thing is like a bellflower type flower. With here. Even more, I think. Even more conical bellflower shape. Really exaggerated. Almost like I guess like a tulip. I think maybe is like this. I don't know. I don't know flowers. I don't know plants, guys. Plants are not my forte, y'all. Okay, let's see. And then I did want to have the stem, oops, and wrap around the little end of the bell, like so. Oh, I forgot to actually draw in his eyes. Okay. And then we're going to give him little beady caveman eyes. Ugh, like flower. Smash. There we go. I think that looks pretty good, except for this whole limb here is way off balance now. But that's okay. I'll live with it. I'm going to live with it. It's a dynamic pose. It feels heavy, but I think it'll be fine. Now we're going to grab some green. Green. And I want to do like a brown on these roots and a lighter green. Oops, on these leaves. Like this. Do 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 do. There. And then we're gonna grab kind of a muted yellow. A little more saturated. There we go. That's good. And a full-blown red on these flower bits. But I'm actually going to come back in and draw in some like detail patterning in black, because that's the way the reference. Dang it. Stupid live brushes. Please don't have destroyed this file. It destroyed the file. I accidentally hit the live brushes. I actually don't think I do. I think Adobe Fresco just randomly throws me into the live brushes sometimes. And when I do, because I work in such giant file sizes, it completely crashes out Adobe Fresco on this old cheap iPad. Oh, thank goodness. I didn't lose everything. Actually, it's white off because I forgot to put white in. On the white parts. All right, now I can grab my black brush and draw in some little pattern stuff. Yes. Here. Good. I'm a cave plant. Okay. That's pretty good. I don't think that's bad. And we're going to grab our 80% gray that we use for all of our shading. And I like, cool. Yes. When I do my shading, I like to turn off the color and just focus on the like shades versus highlights. Yeah, I'm very happy it didn't corrupt my file. It's definitely a win there. I'm just going to come in and lately I've been finding it a lot easier to draw my highlighted areas more than my shaded areas. Been using a lot more subtle, subdued colors than I have in the past. I'm maybe left my neon ooze hyper saturated phase and have started working on some big boy color phases, like a real artist or something. Like maybe I'll do some like contrast studies or some value studies as they call them. The way the light hits the lake house. Those are all things that are valuable to learn, but that I never use. Although I have been thinking lately, I was like, I need to stretch myself more, probably, as an illustrator, and spend some more time doing some like very different illustration styles outside of my normal comfort zone. Like maybe trying for some more realism in my stuff. Things that I do not normally do at all. Just because you don't want to get stagnant, you know? As an artist, you want to make sure you're continuing to grow and evolve and make some new creative decisions every once in a while. Womp. Womp. Yeah. Oh man, the weather is so nice today. It's almost unbelievable how nice it is. And right now the sun is going down and I can hear like the frogs and the crickets coming out. And that's fun. Like it's a good time out here in the country, in the middle of nowhere. It's not always fun living in the middle of nowhere, but it can be. I don't like. I want this should come up like this, and then back on the side. This. Oops. Yeah, that's fine. It works the way I've got. Rough. This process that I'm doing here where I keep going, oh no, I want to change this, do this, this. That's why I like to do this shading without any color underneath, is because if I can get the contrast and the shading right before I worry about the color, adding the color in, then I know it will work. Like I know if the shading gives me the volume I want with just black, white, and gray, I know that it'll work when I add color. And sometimes when you are working with color, it almost masks the flaws in your stuff. At least that's how I feel. So it's kind of like keeping it simple and raw so that I know I'm nailing what I'm trying to nail, or at least getting closer to what I'm trying to nail. Right. All right. See, so I feel like that reads pretty well. The stem body is not as good as I would like it to be, but it's pretty good. All right, there we go. There is our cave flower finished up. Center. All right. Okay, and the next thing on the list is, what's the word I'm looking for here? Magical girl flower. That was the other thing requested Wednesday night. And I'm gonna try to do it justice. Excuse me. Images. And I'm a Sailor Moon fan, but I'm going to try to avoid Sailor Moon. Just because I feel like that's a little basic. I want to try to do something a little more ornate, I guess is the word I'm looking for. Maybe something a little more like a ball gown-esque magical girl flower person. So I just looking at some different anime reference art here, just kind of looking at getting some ideas. It's probably going to be some more like that Modaka Magica kind of stuff, or Cardcaptor Sakura kind of stuff, honestly. But let's just get started sketching and see what we come up with, because that's ultimately going to be how we're going to make it work. All right, so I think we obviously are going to need a really good pose. And the best reference poses for artists to use for magical girl stuff is the Sailor stock. This is a non-profit amateur stock reference group that is pretty awesome. You can find them on DeviantArt, and almost all of their reference art is like magical girl or anime action stock reference images that they've done. They do some really cool stuff. Although I guess they did change their name to Adorka stock, formerly Senshi stock. And they do a lot of cool stuff. So let's find a good, cool pose. We want something magical girl poses. I want pin up. One of the cool things I think is really awesome that they do is they do some like underwater poses and stuff too. It's really cool. Sailor, Guardian, and magical girl poses. This is kind of what I was looking for here. I guess I could pop this over here so you guys can see what I'm looking at. Just going through some of their stuff. It's like I said, Adorka stock is amazing. It's an awesome stock group. They're really cool. They have pretty good rules on what you can and can't do with their stuff. Like you can't trace things like that, but they're really a great tool I appreciate the like reference pose community. There's a lot of people who make a lot of really awesome reference poses in the reference pose community and make that a tool that's available to those of us who are doodling and need it. I think this is the pose. This is the pose we're going to use right here. And you can see right here is their Creative Commons license right there. So you can get their full set of usage rights. Is their usage is all on their page. They have pretty good usage rules. If you use their stuff, like show people their actual stock, you need to link back to their stuff. If you use it in photo manipulation, then you have to make sure you use credit. And they like getting credit if you use it when you are using it solely for references, which I'm happy to give them because they do really cool stuff. They do really good, awesome reference work. So consider this my shout out for Adorka stock. Formerly Senshi stock. We are. Oops, this is not my pose. Yeah, it is. That is the pose I want. Okay. So this is going to be interesting because this is a human person. And we're going to turn it into a flower. So we'll start with humans have heads, flowers have little balls. They have blooms and blossoms. So we'll start there. And then there's like a natural curve going on here. And like I said, I want to clearly establish a baseline. We'll go down again. This is here. And then we have one arm coming out. Again, I'm not necessarily trying to do a realistic depiction here. I'm trying to kind of add some weird credence to this image. And I love the staff. And then, actually, on. So I know I need to. This line is the primary body line, and I need it to come back to here, like that. And then this can come here with the staff coming across. What that means is this one needs to go away and be redrawn like here. And then this leg become like this. So that's our basic shape that we're going to work off of here. And turn it into flower shapes. So we'll start with here. Roll this around. This is going to be a leaf. This will also be a leaf. Those will come down like this into this stem base here. And then I'm going to kind of, from here, I'm going to have leaves kind of hanging down as these like you know, like a flowery kind of dress. And I'm actually going to have this one kind of popped off. We don't need the other leg. Like that. And maybe we'll have a leaf here fold out like this on the back, like you know, like the, I guess I am going a little Sailor Moony here. And then what type of flower do we think our magical girl flower should be? Flowers with poof balls. Just again, looking up some reference art. It never hurts to have reference art. I don't know why so many people are afraid of reference art. There's a lot of flowers that look like poofy balls. Are there any flowers with round petals? Flowers with ball like petals. I'm gonna give her some like Sailor Moon spaghetti ball hair. And just full on embrace it. Apparently there are 20 flowers that look like balls. No, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out without reference. I know what flowers look like. Nobody said they had to look like a specific flower. That's the key factor here. So, yeah, we'll start with that. We'll do like this. And then I mean like this little braid petals. There we go. That'll work, I think. So this is our rough shape. I gotta figure out what I want her little staff to be. And I think we'll just go with like a little rose, because that feels thematic for both ways. And put some little thorns on the ends. So here is a real rough composition sketch, and I think it's going to work. I think this will work. I think this is going to be a decent looking character. So let's clean up the sketch. And I'm going to start with the face. And I'm going to go with like almost kind of angry, like I said, more modern-esque magical girl. Little more postmodern, which everyone gives credit to the wrong source. If you are really serious about like, if you know Mega City Tokyo is, I think, I feel Neo City Tokyo, I think it's Mega City Tokyo. There is a webcomic from the 2000s that is basically about a pair of American nerd otaku throwing their lives away and just moving to Tokyo. And when they get to Tokyo, they find out that like it really is all the craziness that is the anime world. And one of the characters in that show is a undead magical girl. She's like a zombie magical girl. She was a magical girl who got bit by a zombie. Or in that, I said that show, that webcomic. And that's really like the deconstruction of magical girls. They did it way before modern anime. And because it's this like kind of lesser known webcomic, it doesn't get nearly enough credit for what it did. And I say like a lesser known webcomic, but honestly, as far as webcomics went at the time, it was pretty famous. I like this already. I'm pretty happy with the way this face is starting out. I think it's gonna look good. I think she's gonna make a great flower person character. And I like that I've got this little patch of weeds here that she's standing. Like that. Bring her body up through here. Just got clean line work. Or actually rough line work. This isn't clean at all. Just enough to like give me the shape I'm looking for. Then this is going to come up, off. Wrap around. So trying to figure out exactly how these leaves fold and bend in arm shapes is kind of a fun little challenge for me. Not something I've done a whole lot of before. The pedal punk, as an example, that inspired this whole thing, has human arms. So it's like a flower head on a mostly humanoid body. So like trying to figure out exactly how it folds around itself is a little easier, I think. What this needs to do, this needs to come and match here. And then, so like, oops. I'm gonna draw it. Some little shaping line, what I'm trying to do here. That. And then this one comes up this way, just scoops up. Yeah. That looks good. I like that. I like that a lot too. Okay. The other flower, the other leaf, like back here around behind, like almost cape like. And like I said, we'll do these other leaves all hanging from here. Forming a little bit of a skirt, but almost like hair, really. Like if this was the center point of the hair, all of them will kind of come back to it also. That actually makes it easier to manipulate. So there we go. This layer can actually get reduced more. All right, and now we will add this rose staff. And I'm going to have it front of the arm over here. Find it. So, then we'll have our little rose bit like this. A little bit of stem on it. Some thorns. There we go. That's our magical girl flower sketch. I like this. This actually turned out pretty good. I think it is a nice sketch. So let's ink. Let's get jumped into the actual design work here. All right. And again, I'm going to start with the face. Yeah, this brush is too big for this work. And about half its size. So pointy eyelashes. Wow. I'm mad because you are doing evil. That's what she says. Right before she whacks people with her rose staff. Mouth. Actually, did not do it on purpose, but I feel like I've given this a little bit of like a Has Been Hotel kind of vibe, and maybe a little bit like of a like Very Odd Parents kind of vibe. I want her head to actually be a circle. But I want to be able to size it to what I want, so just draw a circle in a different layer. There. Merge down! Yay! And that's digital art 101. That's why digital art is so much better. Suck it, traditional art. With your skills and abilities and your actually making things that people want. Nobody asked you. Get her little flower bang here. Flower bang. Flower bangs. Which I like quite a bit. Same. These petals off the backside of her head. Here. Sometimes you gotta make art noises. Art noises! I like these teeth. And the tongue. I like that she almost looks like she's gonna stab someone with this rose staff. She is totally ready to do that. Thickness here. That. Okay. And then we'll go ahead and do the stem so that we can draw everything around it. Just to make everything nice and cohesive. That. And this, I like that. That's what I was trying to do earlier. It wasn't working the way I wanted it to. But it looks much better there. And go ahead and draw in that back line there. That joint's going to end up being covered by the staff, so I don't have to fix it right now. This one is nice and easy. So I don't think I need that little cape. I think it's adding more than I needed to add there. So we don't need that. We're gonna not worry about that. Leave it off. Leave it off. Leave it off forever. Forever. All right. So let's do rose staff. You know what? Let's go this way. You know what? When in doubt, use a ruler. That's why I have them. That's why they were invented. Artists been using them for hundreds of years, probably. Maybe even thousands of years. I don't know. Do I look like a guy who knows things to you? Oh, dang it. There. here. Okay, there we go, like that. Again, just a little bit of green here. One of the things I love about doing stickers, it's looking amazing. Thank you. One of the things I love about stickers is that you don't want to over detail. If you put too much detail on, it won't read on the sticker. So a lot of times, especially if I'm zoomed in on this work like this, I have to remind myself, like, it's okay for that to not be perfect or super detailed, because no one will be able to see those details anyway. So don't waste time trying to draw them or fix them. Because when you shrink the sticker down, when you shrink it down to sticker size and those details get lost, people like will stray and decide to try to see them, and it'll actually frustrate them and make the art look less good by having too much detail. But I really am liking the way this magical girl flower is turning out. So we're gonna go here, here. And again, that's what I'm doing right now, is exactly that. I'm like minimizing the amount of detail in this drawing and figuring out exactly how the little skirt will come together. I definitely drew in too much detail when I did the initial sketch design here. I'm actually going to stem show so I can add some like 3-dimension to here, like that. Make sure it definitely looks like it's going all the way around the body instead of all just kind of hanging off for one side. Some little bits like that. There we go. There's our line art, and I think it looks good. Thank you very much. This was a character I was like completely caught off guard by the recommendation, but once the recommendation was there, I really wanted to try it. Like, I was like, this is gonna be different for me. Like, drawing a cave flower is different than drawing a cave goblin, but not that much, you know what I mean? And we'll go with this lighter green as the base color this time. And maybe we'll like go with like a really like very yellow base. And I think obviously magical girl, we're gonna go with like pink petals. And I'm gonna make the lips match the petals. And then we'll go with a really dark green. I mean, like really dark green. That won't read well. I want it to read well as a sticker. And I don't think that super too terribly dark is going to read well. So we'll take some of that dark back off. but I think I'm going to use the same green on the rose stem as on the petals or on the leaves. And then I think instead of doing a red rose, let's do like a really saturated electric blue rose. Just because I like that kind of, oh no. You know what? That I like it. Oops. Fresco just crashed on me again. Don't use your cheap iPad to do giant files with lots and lots of illustrations in them. The good news is I knew that one had already backed up to the cloud. So I knew it wasn't going to be lost. I liked having the blue. I'm gonna make the rose the same color as her petals. Just kind of minimizing colors and having fun with it. And white. And then I did not close these eyes in because I wanted to give it kind of a little bit more of a 90s anime vibe. And for some reason, a lot of the 90s anime, the eyes are only like closed in on 3 sides. So I thought that would be fun to do here. So there's our flats colored in. We can now do the shade. Again, let's grab our 50% or 80% light gray. And I'm going to do the light coming from here, this way. So it'll be pretty easy. Here. Here. You know, this is the type of character that if you were playing a flower-based fighting game online and somebody was suddenly whipping out this character, you'd be like, oh no, this is a person who knows how to play. Because for some reason, the like real monsters in online fighting games are always the ones that decide to play like the most feminine character they can find. And since that has nothing to do with power ratings in video games, like I have no idea why, like those things aren't related, but like there are always guys who are just going to kick the crap out of you no matter what. Always people. And we'll have this come up. That. That. There. Shading inside this rose. Across the rose's butt. Shade there. I'm just going to do the bottom shaft. It's all the way down. Here and loop that up. Also going to curve around on both of these. top thorns that are in the light to show that they are also casting shadows. There you go. Yeah. That's actually more detail than I probably should have. Probably shouldn't have done worried about that, because that's more detailed. Like, again, a detail that probably won't read. But too late now. I've already done it. No take backs. Playing with form and shadow is like the thing I'm trying to master the most right now. I've been doing a lot of, like, in my sketchbook, drawing like random shapes and then giving them form and depth. It's kind of been a lot of fun trying to figure some stuff out. Learn how to do it well. Here, give that clear fold in that leaf by adding some shadow. See, across there. Boom. Okay. And that looks pretty good. I'm going to, oops, not erase, or not mask, erase, and turn the color back. Yeah, that looks great. I like the way that pops. You know what this little illustration here could use? Because she's a magical girl. So we'll grab our little pink again, and we'll just give her a little. Nah. We'll have to give her big pops of power. Maybe not. I don't know. Never mind. I don't like it. I'm going back. There we go. That's our magical girl flower. So that's 5, and we got to do 6. I need a 6th idea, and I have no suggestions at all whatsoever. If anyone out there has an idea of what they would like the 6th flower sticker to be, I'm all ears. Well, I have opened my 2 ears that I have. I only have the 2. I don't have all of them. Not entirely made of ears. You know what I mean. You know how it goes. So I really have no real plan for my 6th flower. But you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna leave some room to flow out there. And while people are thinking, while the flow is going on, we'll come over here. And we'll sketch the Taco Viking variant. Just start with a little Taco Viking basic shape. And we'll come in like this and have like a little helmet like this. And have little flower bits coming off like the horns. He nose and the mouth. And he gets his little mustache and beard. So he almost looks like a sun god more than a flower right now. But we'll have, instead of the lettuce and tomatoes, we'll do like flower petal things coming out. Maybe do a little rose, some little vines. Yeah, that looks pretty good. That's not bad. It's dumb, but that's the fun of doing the Taco Viking variants. So his little squared off nose, because he deserves that. That's his thing. And oh, boo, boo, boo. Boo, doo, 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 doo. Oh, this is fun. I probably shouldn't be drawing this. One of my favorite things is hiding the Taco Viking variant logo until the last minute, so no one sees it until they get their Patreon packs, which I didn't make it to the post office today after the market, before the post office closed. So Patreon packs will mail out on Monday for anyone who didn't make it to the market to pick their Patreon pack up today. So people should have them probably by the end of the week, next week. Hopefully. This is very 60s trippy looking. Oh, this is fun. This is the fun stuff. This is where all the fun is had. Boop. 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 And actually, little roots curl back around almost like tentacles. Give it little stripes. Yeah. Looking good, Flower Viking. Bring that opacity down. Oops. It's all black. All right, now we can just draw in the ink. Yay. There. This stuff just makes me giggle. That's the type of guy I am. I do weird stuff and it makes me giggle. It might not be the most entertaining live stream for that reason, but it entertains me. And I'm the only one that matters, right? Actually, make it a little smaller here. Looking good, Taco Viking. And I think I'm actually, I'm gonna do some little petals. To form like what would normally be the rim of his helmet. Do some. Quick. This. That. There we go. Oh, I like it. I like it quite a bit. Flower Viking is my favorite one yet. Thank you. I think he's coming along pretty good. I like all of the variants of my logo. But if I'm being honest, I think 90s alternative, like grunge emo Viking from the Cake Pyre Records set was pretty good. And also like Robot Viking from this month coming up in May. You probably haven't seen yet. I think I put him on the preview, but Robot Viking turned out pretty good too, I think. Okay, it looks like we're reconnecting now. So that was weird. It just out of nowhere, my internet didn't actually drop off. OBS was the only thing that seemed to just drop off out of nowhere. I don't know what caused it. It just OBS disconnected. Maybe it was a Twitch thing. In the past, when that's happened, it's because like something has happened to my Wi-Fi around here. Sometimes like my Wi-Fi will just go out on me, but not today. That was not the case. So I don't know. I don't know what it was, but we're back. Hopefully we'll stay up. I'm in the green again immediately. Like I said, it wasn't my internet was not the problem there. So we'll see how things go now. I'm hoping that also once I get the new computer sometime in the next couple of months, that maybe some of the issues and lag and stuff I have goes away just because of that. I'm hoping anyway. You never know. Yeah, this looks good. He kind of, I don't know, it like looks like a Russian czar, kind of, I guess. I don't know. So this swatch set here, this top one, is the Taco Viking logo colors. That's actually what that swatch set is. So it makes it easy to color something like this because I've got all of the colors ready to go. Oops, I missed. Dang it. One of the problems with working in the symmetry tool is that it does not symmetry the vector cut. So it treats them as separate. So I got to make sure any vector cuts I did, vector trimming I did is done. It looks like. So now we will do, make sure on this layer. Also, I'm going to close you in. It also does not symmetry fill, which is fine, but a thing that I've noticed. It would be cool if it did. And then Taco Viking skin tone. Oops, I forgot to do the eyebrows. There we go. Element color is here. And the horns are the same color as his face. Most people don't pick that up, but his horns and face, same color. And then this bright yellow is the taco color. We'll do some brown. And green. Oops. Dang it. I'm gonna grab this tan or yellow or lighter yellow to do the center of this little flower. We'll grab our dark green to do the background of this flower. Sure, there's green flowers out there somewhere. I mean, I don't know why they would exist because, like, obviously, like, you know, what's the point when the rest of the plant is already green? All right, that looks pretty cool. He is looking pretty cool here. Then you come to new layer. And we'll just write it in. Oops, I don't want symmetry on it. Actually, you know what? I've got a flowery font, I think, on my computer. And I'll do it with a font. This layer is going to bring back my symmetry tool. I'm just going to keep this very simple, streamlined. Do it, do. This is. I am liking this this flower Viking quite a bit. I'm going to do something with my collection of logo variants at some point. Maybe I was talking to someone about Summerfest or Summer Fair today, or maybe it might have been Thursday. Recently talking to someone about Summer Fair, and I was talking about how I really enjoyed doing the trivia game last year, and it seemed like a pretty big hit when I did it. So I'm gonna kind of double down on it this year and do an even bigger trivia game type thing. And so maybe I've got some like varieties of Taco Viking logo that I could use as like genres for the trivia. Like use Robot Viking as like sci-fi and technology, or like Nacho Viking as food. You know, something like that. Could be fun. Could be a fun little game to play. But I actually think I want to like really do a lot more with the trivia game this year than I did last year. I want to do like really go for it, really have a good time setting it up. Last year I let so much time go by before I jumped into it because I wasn't sure what I was going to do. I was trying to figure out so many things. But now that I know, I liked running the trivia game, and that other people enjoyed playing the trivia game, we'll do it again this year. It'll be good. It'll be fun. It'll be a good time for all. All right. There we go. I still have no idea what the sixth flower is going to be. But at least now I've got this done. There we go. There's Flower Taco. Or Flower Viking. Ah. He's looking good. Actually, I think I want to add. Oops. Little bit of extra sheet on the underside of this Bloom helmet. Okay, I like this. This is good. Oh. One more flower dude. What should we make? Superhero flower dude's good. cave flower is good. He's gonna be our big one. I'm really just not sure at all. So what I like to do in situations like this is just start doodling and figure out what speaks to me. So I'm gonna come down here and make a baseline. And I'm gonna bring that down even further, actually. I want this to be kind of a tall flower. This is gonna be a tall flower guy. And also, you know what? I'm just gonna pull up. I'm gonna come in here to my image search, and I'm gonna search for the weirdest flower. I want to see what the weirdest flower looks like. Ooh, that's a flower that looks like lips. Those are flowers that look like people. Um, hmm. These flowers are all. Unfortunately, these weird looking flowers are also not very aesthetically pleasing. They're kind of creepy looking flowers, which is not what I was going for. Try something else. No, still not seeing what I want here. Euphorbia. I don't know. All right, like I said, I'm just gonna start sketching and see what comes of it. That's how I got the emo flower. Emo flower is awesome. I love it. So let's see what we get. So I'm just going to start with an action curve, like this. Now I'm gonna line action. Little flower head, and I'm gonna have him actually looking back this way. Like this is the direction he's looking back. Like folded back over himself. And then let's do. You know what? I haven't done one of those flowers that looks like, you know, like one of these like pointy top flowers. I think this is tulips, maybe. I don't know flowers. Yeah. I'm gonna make a tulip. Pointy top flower. Yeah. Oh, so many pointy type top flowers. Okay, so now I know that there are pointy top flowers. Okay. So undo all of this. So little hairline. Goggles. Totally needs little goggles. And we're gonna have little pointy hair bulbs like that. Eyes, mouth. Yeah, this is gonna be good. And I'm gonna give him a big old wrench. Yeah. So I'm deciding I'm gonna make I don't know, like a almost a machinist, like a steampunky machinist flower. Let's head here. Oops. Where's my pencil? Yeah, great. There we go. Then have this other one go over here. So there we go. I like it already. Um, yeah, this will be great. This is good. I think we accidentally created a pack of anime protagonist flowers, but that's okay. I am a sucker for some steampunk goggles or goggles in general. Um, when I was a youngin, I actually used to like wear goggles quite often. And honestly, the only reason I stopped was because because I wear glasses and I didn't have goggles that would fit over my glasses. I never uh actually wore them. I wore them up on my head, but I never actually wore the goggles as like sunglasses or anything. And nowadays, I have sunglasses that are basically goggles without a strap. They go over the top of my glasses, and they're designed like safety goggles. And those are just what I wear as sunglasses these days. And I like them quite a bit. Mouth down. Big smile. That. I'm going to be super happy. I want to be the opposite of the emo flower. Maniacal mad flower. Mwah! And I purposely kind of put this stem here so it would look a little bit like he had like a little goatee. That's what I was kind of going for in the design. So like his little stem comes down off of his face to try to like look like a little bit like a goatee. All right, so I'm gonna come over here. I'm gonna draw in the wrench. I know what wrenches look like. This does not look like one. I'll do better in the inking. It'll be easier to ink that with vector trimming. Wait, I'm like, that's not right. Nuts are hexagonal, not octagonal. So they're called hex nuts. I used to sell fasteners. I want this to out and back in. Hook up with that. Have there. Actually turn this down. There we go. This is fun. This is just for me. Just for me. Sometimes you guys gotta do things that are just for you. And other people will be like, what the heck is up with this flower dude? Why has he got a giant wrench? And you'd be like, suck it, other people who don't know what's going on in the world. Don't you know that giant wrenches are cool? Don't you know that steampunk goggles are cool? Where were you for the last 30 years? Why don't you know about cool steampunk goggles? Huh? Huh? All the cool kids are wearing them. Boop. Yeah, that looks good. I like that a lot. That's a good character. That's a fun character. Let's ink him. Let's ink him. All right, I'm gonna actually start on this guy with the stem. That up here. Draw the outside. Oops. Face. Whew, oh man. Again, this is one of those places where I'm just gonna abuse the crap out of the vector trimming to get some nice sharp points on these spiky hair petals. Really, that's like the best way to use it. Get real sharp points by crossing two lines. And then trim it off those excess ends. But also, it lets you kind of come in here and go, this is in front of this, is in front of this. Double crossed. Whole strap all the way across on here. That because then when we draw these on, we don't have to worry about excess positioning. Everything will line up nicely. right where it's supposed to be. Pushing a little too much detail again. And remind myself not to add too much detail. No one is going to be able to see the little detailed backlight glare light inside the lens of the goggles, so there's no point in drawing it. And over here, a little more this way. Whoop. 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 Yeah, there we go. That becomes a little soul patchy. There. That looks good. I like this. I like the way this is coming out. So I'll just keep just finishing him up. And then once he's done, we'll probably go ahead and just call that the night. Because it'll be 10 o'clock. We'll have done 2 hours on the stream tonight. That's not a bad stream. I think 10 hours is a good stream no matter who you are. Okay, so we're going to start with a circle. I guess we're going to start with an ellipse anyway. Cut it off here. That looks more like a wrench anyway. This is all in front here. Right there. There. And then we'll come down here and do another, basically a circle. Oops. Faking my own symmetry. Do a little hex nut wrench action. There we go. That's looking pretty good. Oops. You get there. And on this side, we'll do basically the same thing. Trim it through there. Then a little stripey line. Stripey line. Alright, and now all we got is these bottom leaves, so that. This. What? And here. So, gonna picking up a couple of these lines. Because it's easier to thicken up front lines than it is to thin out other ones. So that's what I'm going to do. All right. Once I finish this guy, I'm going to call it a night. And we'll be back on Monday. And on Monday, I think I'm going to work a little bit more on the coloring book while we start rebuilding the wheel of requests. Getting that wheel nice and full to go into maybe some other projects, some more collaborative work, do some stuff, just have some fun on the stream. Nothing serious. Just do what we want to do. Have a good time. And see where life takes us. All right, let's do this. Let's flat this guy in. So we're gonna start with, I think, I haven't actually gotten to use a lot of my blue that I wanted to use, so we'll do the blue. We'll give him a blue head. Make him nice and colorful. And then we'll do a green for all of this. Here. Keep him kind of simple. Just do my standard Taco Viking metal for his wrench. And the yellow that I use for brass. And the Taco Viking taco for his goggles. A little brown, a little leather. And I think, what do we make his goggles pink? Make him have some rose tinted goggles. Hee 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 hee. Like that. And we will do our shading layer. And again, I'm going to have the light coming from roughly here. So go ahead and shade basically along this headline. I used this tulip-like fold in here to do like a headline, like you would do if you were doing the Loomis method with a human head. That was fun. That was a fun design choice for me. I'm going to just fill that in. Yeah. Same here. Basically, just fill. And we can come over here. There we go. Let's darken this whole back leaf just to make it work. I'm just do a little punchy curve here. And we'll just keep it pretty straightforward on his wrench and just do a little edge curve shading. Probably doesn't actually need it. Multiply that. And bring it up. So that's pretty good. And then I'm going to do something on here. Yo, you're still on? I mean, like, obviously you are. Yeah, I am obviously still here. Although, once I finish this particular dude, I was planning on calling it a night. So, I am here. I am on. But I don't know I'll be on much longer. There we go. I think he's done too. So this is my steampunk mechanic flower. So we have all 6 of our flowers done. We got a 6-pack here. So we'll run down through in order that I drew them. I'm actually going to rearrange them so I can just go straight down through in the order they were drawn. All right, so emo flower. I imagine you're pretty exhausted. That was, I said the last time we heard from, like, we hadn't heard from you all day, and my mom was like, he's probably still asleep. Steampunk mechanic flower is giving me Ginger Bit Gadget from Rescue Rangers. Oh, Gadget from Rescue Rangers, are you the source of my love of goggles? Possibly, quite possibly. All right, emo flower. Murder flower. Super flower. Cave flower. Magical girl flower. Although I think I want to make her a little bigger. Or increase her size. I might have to thicken her outline some. And steampunk mechanic flower. And of course, flower Viking. So those are going to be the 6 stickers for this month's sticker pack. And I think for the art print, I really want to go with, I kind of have an idea in my head. The idea is like all flowers, like it takes all kinds is basically what I wanted to say. Like all seeds belong in the garden, I think is the thing I want to go with. And I want to make like a cool typography style print for that. All seeds belong in the garden. Just kind of this idea of just like everyone is all the weirdness needs to be embraced. So I'm gonna call that the stream. It's 10 o'clock. We've been 2 hours. Is good stream time. We got all of the stickers done. I'm pretty proud of them. I think they turned out pretty good. Thank you for coming and hanging out with me, Leo. I was glad you're here tonight. Yeti, thanks for making it in at the last minute. I will be back on Monday evening at 8 p.m. We're going to, like I said, I think my plan for right now, and this is up to debate. People can talk me out of it. I think I might work more on the coloring book on Monday and start gathering more of the requests for the wheel. Because right now I only have 4 things on the wheel, and I would love to fill that in before we start taking off of it again. Also, if you did not pick up your Patreon today at the Street City Market, it will get mailed out on Monday. They're in my bag. The post office closes at 1 and the market closes at 2. So I didn't make it to the post office to get those mailed out today. So they'll go out Monday. Everyone except Yeti Detective, whose stuff went out last Monday because I stole his shipping on an order that he put in on the website. So, and if you can always order stuff from the website at tacovikingstudios.com, there's a lot of cool stuff there. A lot of stuff that I can't print in house that I put up on the website for like t-shirts and coffee mugs and stuff. So you might want to check that out. If you want to make sure you're getting all of these stickers, make sure you join the Patreon at Taco Viking Studio or patreon.com/Taco Viking Studios. $8 a month gets you the sticker pack. I'll be back. Thank you for coming and hanging out. It's Saturday night, so stay chill, stay relaxed, stay sexy, and as always, remember to stay weird. Thank you for hanging out. I will see you next time. Have a great night.